this is the life, isn't it?
It's kind of hard to be serious with this crew. This is a very, very different shoot. It's night time, we're having a drink. It's kind of like a rap party. It's been a challenging day, Francois. Why are we in Bella Bella?
Everything about the shoot is unusual. We decided to come out here to escape the traffic in Joburg, and then we found more traffic than we found in any of our usual driving roads in Gauteng.
We chatted about it a while back in studio, and you really, I mean, you said to me, you flipping love this car and it's amazing. Francois, I'd love to find out your feelings, because for me, Subaru is one of the few brands I reckon that just get it right. They know who they're selling the car to, and every Subaru owner never wants to buy anything else. They're kind of simple, right, good, comfortable, honest car.
Yeah, and that's exactly the kind of feedback that you get when you talk to Subaru owners. It sounds like a cliche, but it brings to mind that expression, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. When you get into an Outback, you know, everything just comes together and it works. The engine, the ride quality, the space inside, the comfort, and then of course the new features that they've incorporated, the redesigned center console with the infotainment system. I think that's one of the biggest talking points in this car.
Absolutely, because it's got that premium feel to it. There's so much space, it's quality, it's actually just an amazing feeling being inside it.
It's a practical buyer. It's a guy that says, this is what I need, this is what I want to do, and this is the best car that can do it. But what blew me away was driving out here today, just how you don't think about the driving process. And we got on some really dodgy, I mean, that gravel road was crap.
The one road we managed to film
road, super corrugated, so that shot you're seeing looped is the one road. But it was actually so good over the corrugations as well, and peace of mind with an all-wheel drive system. So it's all the stuff that I suppose you really want, but comfortable.
Absolutely, and I think one of the big things on this car is the CVT gearbox. I mean, it really is a brilliant CVT. You don't feel those changes. It's
the best.
Smooth. It's fantastic. It really is.
I didn't even use the pedals, because everyone says, oh, use the pedals, it makes it better. You don't need to. I think maybe the 3.6 helps because it's got a lot, 191 kilowatts, 350 newton meters, got plenty of grunt.
The engine is actually perfectly mated to a CVT gearbox because you've got the same torque that you have in a diesel, but you've got the extra kilowatts. So gear changes are, well, in a CVT, virtual gear changes are limited, and you've actually got an engine that is so tractable that cruising at highway speeds, you're doing a little over 2,000 RPM, so it brings down your fuel consumption, it makes the car quiet and super refined.
Amazingly, you don't realize the clearance on this car just looking at it. It's got 213 millimeters of clearance. I mean, you know, it is going to go to places that a lot of SUVs probably can't.
I suppose that's the dimensions there, because you're talking a wagon, so it's a big car. They've made the space bigger by changing the front load of the windscreen.
And
so
it's wider, slightly wider.
And I think that's what throws people off. But I mean, with that long wheelbase, you need the ground clearance to be able to go places. I played around with a little X button, anything below 40 k's an hour, but I mean, we were going a lot quicker than that on the gravel roads. But it's got all those options: hill descent, hill ascent. Wow, it really can go everywhere. I was impressed.
I think the interesting thing about that is also the way that the Japanese approach is different to what the Europeans do. Whereas if you get into an Audi Allroad, everything is just normal A4 Avant. You get into it, you drive it, it does everything automatically, whereas in this car it actually encourages you to select different modes and play around with settings. It's kind of like that whole PlayStation generation that it's embracing.
I never played with that S button, but it's interesting to see how you can change the torque curve if you want to make the car more responsive, more sporty, which is great. Price?
Yeah, 530,000. So I mean, on the face of it, it might look a bit pricey if you look at the sporty SUVs. I want to read something from the press release because I think it perfectly sums up this car, and I think Subaru's been quite bold to say this.
In your face.
They're basically saying the SUV crossover leisure vehicle marketplace is full of cars that are pointless in terms of their positioning, and they represent a meaningless show of status and performance. And that's not what Subaru is about. And I think
20 years,
that perfectly sums it up. 20 years of Outback.
Because I mean, just a simple example. I mean, you take a lot of people who drive cars that look like SUVs, but they don't even have all-wheel drive. This car actually has the ability to drive safely on gravel roads. I mean, if you're in Europe on snow, rain, sleet, anything. And it's actually more capable than it looks.
And they've stuck to their guns, not saying that it's ugly or anything, but function before form.
Hey,
and good on them.
We could drink it pretty.
Cheers.